quench the bloodthirst. No radar lock on skin and bone. The bomber boys are going home, yeah. Climb into the sky, never wonder why. Tailgunner, you're a tailgunner. Climb into the sky, never wonder why. Tailgunner, you're a tailgunner. Climb into the sky, never wonder why. Tailgunner, you're a tailgunner. Climb into the sky, never wonder why. Tailgunner, you're a tailgunner. Hey! Nail that rock, I'll kill that sun. Gonna blow your guts out with my guns. Whoever falls has good for wall. Kelowna, Frankfurt, and Simone. Hey, tailing Charlie in the morning sky. Didn't know the game was my last try.
何年ぶりかでアイアンメイデンでツアー始まった今の気持ちはどうですか？
I think it's great. I mean, we're having more fun, I think, on this tour because there's less, a few less monsters and special effects and things. And I think, in a way, it makes it's easier for us to get straight to the audience and get straight to the music, like in the old days. And I like that.
ヤニックってツインギターのバンド初めてだと思うんですけども、もし多分間違ってないけど初めてだと思うんですね。で今までのやっぱりギター1本とやっぱだいぶ違うんじゃないかと、その辺どうですか？
Yeah, it's the first time I've actually played live with a band with two guitars. I've always played with a keyboard, and it's a different kind. The type of style that I made and have is very rhythmic. Where when I was in other bands, perhaps like Gillan, I would chop inside the keyboard part, so you get much more choppy guitars. But this is a much more rhythmical thing between Steve and the drums. So and you've got me and David, and we're both sort of chopping around within the framework of what the bass and Steve are doing. So it's much more moving around in the rhythms than I have been in the past. But it's great for me because I'm learning from it all the time. It's great fun. I like to learn different things. And Steve keeps teaching me all these little different rhythmic things.
Nowhere to be found. Till I find him, never gonna stop searching. Gonna find my man, gonna travel road. Sing it for me, Belfast. 'Cause you're Wrathchild. We're the Wrathchild. We're the Wrathchild. Coming to get ya. Yeah,
今ちょうどベルファーストのコンサートが終わったところなんですけども、いよいよ明日ちょっと移動日でニューキャッスルにこれから向かいます。僕もさっき着いたばっかしで1曲目の途中から見たんですけど、すごいいいショーでした。ベルファーストはね、アンスラックスのコンサートが、ボードで中止になったりとか、お客さん結構荒っぽいところで有名なんですけど、アメリカのコンサートと違っていかにもイギリスっぽいコンサートだなと思いました。これから、ニューキャッスルに向かいます。ぜひ楽しみにしてください。
Didn't get anything then? Nothing.
Nothing. No, I saw you standing at the thing like that, was it?
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Fucking huge, yeah, but that
You have to go to the leather dentist. So you brought the reprobates with you then, eh?
This old camera boy, he was at the back of the drum kit earlier on. I think it was him, getting in the way. He was.
With him? No, he wasn't up there actually. So you all right then? Are you taken care of, boys? Yeah.
I've just got to go and see a few of the people. So, hi, how you doing, everybody out there in the old visual world and all that good stuff?
I'll see you later.
Okay.
All right, see you in a bit.
Where are we going then, mate?
Down here, mate, to the left. Go through the room there.
Oh, what's that going to fall over? Don't know, he got you. Aye, aye.
Make some there, my picture.
In here?
Yeah.
ライブのことをちょっと聞きたいんですけども、ベルファストでコンサート見たらデイブもジーンズ履いてて、ブルースもジーンズ履いて、それからヤニックもジーンズ履いてましたよね。非常になんかベーシックなステージ衣装に戻ったような気がしますけども、それはなんか今回のアルバムの音も非常にルーツに戻ったような感じが、したんですけど、それはなんか割とサウンドと今回のステージの衣装っていうのはこう、なんていうかな、一致させるっていうか、そういうことだったんですか？
Yeah, in fact, once we had written the songs for the album and the way all the songs were, they're very raw and it's back to like the old Iron Maiden, if you want. I think if we'd have followed an album up with Number the Beast, I think this No Prayer for the Dying would have been like the follow-on from that album, you know. So we've kind of gone back to the old sound, if you like, and that in terms as far as like the stage production and the clothes that we wear. I think if we was all go out there in like Gary Glitter suits, or I think it wouldn't be quite the same. It'd look a bit odd, I think. And going back to just wearing jeans and t-shirts for us feels very natural, because that's how we used to dress. And I think you know, we've kind of come full circle, if you like. We've come back to the beginning, and I think it's very healthy because we've kind of explored different, you know, fields of music in the past, and now it's good to come back just basic rock and roll rock stuff, you know. And with say the stage production, we've in the past 3 or 4 tours we've put on massive shows, if you like. We've had lots of theatrics and stuff, and I think you can only take it so far, you know. So we decided just to strip everything away, and you'd just be left with the band, the music, and a Marshall backline. And I think at the end of the day, I think it still comes across as well as having all these nice little things up on stage, you know, which can distract from the band sometimes, you know. I mean, we still like bring out Eddie and that sort of thing, you know. But as far as the overall thing, it's not as glittery as it used to be, which I think is good, you know.
まあメイデンがその契約して10年。でまたルーツに戻った10年前っていうのはイギリスのロックシーンはヘビーメタルが非常に盛んだったわけですけど、今ちょっとなんかイギリスのロックシーンヘビーメタルはちょっとあまり良くない。アイアンメイデンがその本当にそのルーツに戻ってね、すごい演奏を聴かせてるわけで、そういうそのアイアンメイデンのそのルーツに戻った頑張りっていうのはイギリスのロックシーンをなんか変えるっていうか、イギリスのロックシーンに刺激を与えるとか、そういう効果はあると思いますか？
Question, yeah, I think most definitely it will. There hasn't been very many new bands coming out of England lately. It's the heavy metal scene has really been predominantly American lately, and I believe that with the you know, I think it's put a faith back to people. Maybe they're going, well, look, is a kick up the backside for everybody. You know, that hopefully, you know, a lot of other bands over the thrash metal bands have said that they've been influenced by Maiden. Okay, that's a different direction to otherwise a format of music which has always been there since 1965, 67, that era. I'd like to see it get back to what we're playing, and perhaps with this new album and some of the younger bands that are coming out. I mean, Wolfsbane are doing pretty well. They're you know, they're on tour with us, and it's given me the opportunity to actually hear them. I haven't heard their music prior to the tour, and they're really a kicking little band, you know. So we need more bands of that kind of genre coming out, and hopefully that this will happen. I think we go in a cycle in our side. Heavy metal, per se, has always been popular. It just has its peaks of real sort of going over the crossover popularity, perhaps, you know. And now if it's 10 years down the road, hopefully we'll see more bands coming out, new bands, to carry it on, you know, within the same sort of the energy, you know, real heavy riffs rather than the speed metal.
Don't you play? Do you play football? No?
You lying bastard.
You're still shorting all the guy. Well, what he's playing, but he don't play. Do you play? Come on, George, get your kit on.
Go on, George.
Seriously, do you play?
Not really, no. Seriously.
Well, he don't play at all.
He don't play at
I'd
all.
rather have a not really than a not at all.
Well,
come on, George.
Go on, George. Go and get changed if you feel you want, because I think probably only lasts about 10 minutes anyway.
Okay.
Good boat racing, fair mate. Look at that time in Poland.
We won't be laughing afterwards, I'll tell you that.
Hey,
Hey?
that time in Poland when we drunk all those, we had that boat race with those guys, all those photos, remember?
Yeah.
That was a good joke.
Hold it straight on, Steve. Let's just enjoy it, eh? Just get out.
All right.
Enjoy it.
Don't tell them what we've been saying. Say enjoy.
少し具体的にそのタトゥードミリオネアってどういうところから持ってきたのか日本のファンに教えてもらえますか？
Well, the song itself started off life as something else. It was an idea which, in fact, it was an idea which we were going to not use for the record. And it was a riff that Janick had kicking around, the opening riff. And we tried a variety of little things. And when we were in rehearsals one day, Janick kept saying to me, he said, we've got to use it. You know, and I was saying, well, the words don't seem right. And the words were going to be about something completely, you know, something else. And they were just having a jam in one room, and I was making a cup of tea, and I just heard this jam and thought, wow, they're doing something there. And I went, do and all you want too much to me. And I ran in and said, just keep playing that. Whatever you do, don't stop playing that. And I wrote down the words and then said to Janick, what's the next chord that should happen after that? And he sort of went one chord, and I said, no, play something really dramatic. And he went, clang, and I went, Tattooed Millionaire, I don't want you big, right, that's it. And it just happened like that. Now, that doesn't really explain how it happened, but because I don't know how things, I don't know how, when you create something, how it happens. But just a little idea pops into your head. And then as soon as I had the line, Tattooed Millionaire, I wrote the verses. Because just about all the stuff, how crazy it is, you know, over here in LA and everything, and how there's a lot of very false people around, and so which is not why I got into music. I got into music because music was like real, and so that's what the song became about.
今回のソロツアー、それからソロのレコーディングで学んだことってのはアイアンメイデンに役に立つと思いますか？
Oh, definitely. I mean, it already has in the Iron Maiden record, because when I came off the solo album into the Iron Maiden album, I was much more relaxed about being in a studio, and I think I enjoyed making the Iron Maiden record a lot more because I'd made the solo album, and you know, I was just very much more relaxed because I'd already got that whole thing about going the nervousness studio, got it out of my system on the solo record, and the same thing with the Iron Maiden tour as well. I'm much more relaxed.
I see.
Going out on tour in 5 weeks' time with Iron Maiden after having just done a world tour. I'm like, and especially doing a world tour with tiny stages and a different equipment every night. And some nights there's no equipment, some nights there are monitors, some nights the monitors blow up, some night, you know, we've done crazy places on this tour. And to walk into a situation where there's road crew and there's the stage is the same every night and you've got your own monitors, it's like, you know, it's like, wow, this is great, you know. So it should be, again, I think it's a nice frame of mind to be in to approach a world tour.
今日なんかここにアイアンメイデンのメンバー全員揃ってプレイするそうですけども、これはブルースのソロツアーの最後であるということと、新しいそのアイアンメイデンが動くということのディモンストレーションなんでしょうか。
No, not really. They're in town doing some press for Maiden. We're in town, so we thought we have a bit of fun up there, really. We've got one more show tomorrow night, and I think they're just going to get up tonight and do stuff. So it's really, I mean, it's just an excuse for a party, really.
What sort of paper?
アルバムのことを聞きたいんですけども、今度のニューアルバムって非常にライブの音に近いんですね。で話聞いたらドラムもボーカルも1回とか2回のテイクでも全部 OK 出したっていうことなんですけども、デイブのギターは実際どうだったんですか？結構やっぱりいつもと違ってライブ的な感じでレコーディングはしたんですか？
Yeah, in fact, yeah, most of the drum tracks were laid down in 1 or 2 takes. True that. And what it is trying to keep the spontaneous, you know, keeping it alive, very live sound. I think if you keep going over something, you tend to lose that little bit of magic, that bit of spark, you know. So most of the takes were done in 1 or 2, and with Bruce as well. In fact, I think Bruce done like 4 vocal tracks one day, and he done like 4 another day, because he was steaming. He was really ready to go, and it was working. But with the guitars, you tend to have to spend a bit more time because you're getting different sounds for different songs, really. And you kind of have to be there right at the very beginning and right at the end, because you're playing rhythm tracks, and then at the end you're putting lead solos down. So really, the guitars, they wasn't all done in one day, you know. You do we've done really about 1 or 2 songs a day for the guitars, you know. Because really, we was, because the songs are relatively new, you're still learning and getting ideas as you go along. So you might do something and then change it again. And really, it's just the whole thing of spending 3 months recording, I think. You know, if something works immediately, that's great. But I always kind of think if you come up with something better, you go back and change it, you know, which we've done.
彼はホワイトスピリットってバンドにいて、僕もライブ見たことあるんですけども、その当時に当然アイアンメイデンのライブは見たことがあると思うんですよ。その当時のイメージと実際今入ったアイアンメイデンプレイしてるイメージってやっぱりギャップとかなんか違いありますか？
I've always liked Iron Maiden from the very early days. I've seen them so many times. Because we came up in around the same time, Iron Maiden, White Spirit.
Right.
A lot of other bands came up with our new wave of heavy metal.
Yeah.
Thing that came about in the early 80s. So I'd seen them, in fact I'd seen them in Middlesbrough, which is not far from here. That was the first time I'd seen them. And I always thought they were a great band, very aggressive and raunchy. And the main thing about Iron Maiden that I love is that they've never compromised. They've always kept a straight direction in everything they've ever done. And I think it's a valuable lesson to a lot of other bands. If you stick at it long enough, and you believe in it, and you totally believe in what you're doing, and you keep that direction, then at the end of the day, there's a possibility that you can go out and play these sort of gigs, and hopefully everyone can enjoy it. And that was the impression I got from it. At that time when I was with White Spirit, I was totally interested in what I was doing with White Spirit. As you are, whatever band you're in, you give 100%. So and that's what I'm giving to Iron Maiden now. And I always enjoyed it. It was great. And I knew Bruce he was in Samson, and we were all crossing paths all the time, which is good.
That's Bill right there.
I'm very keen on being on the...
All I can say to you, Mr. Keys, was fuck right off. And I'd like to see you try and get that on Japanese TV. Arigato.
Bruce here, yeah?
Excuse that, boy.
Yeah, here's the mystery man.
Oh yeah. Well, it wasn't me, was it?
Well, I don't know. You had a part to play.
Yeah.
Silent whiffy ones.
I get the feeling inside of me.
ベルファストのコンサート見たらすごく笑いながらねステージ楽しんでたみたいですけどもあまり緊張感ないいい意味でのねそういう感じも受けましたけど
Yeah, I don't feel any anxiety on this tour. I felt some anxiety in the rehearsals, but that's only because I hate rehearsals. We were standing on a stage, and to me, I hate standing on a stage if there's no audience. And so in rehearsals, I was just like, can we go home, and everything. I just want to start, And as soon as we got out and there was people out there, I think it's going to be the best Maiden tour that we've ever done.
It will be too... Sorry? It will be too much. It will be too... So don't walk up there, mate. What I'm doing now? Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I'll go through. Yeah. Right, I got to pull the lights. Go through.
The sheriff!
The I'm waiting in my cold cell when the bell begins to chime, reflecting on my past life, and it doesn't have much time, 'cause at 5 o'clock they take me to the gallows pole. The sands of time for me are running low.
you know the 2006. It's small.
Who is this man?
Who is this man?
Is everything all right now?
Anyway.
Yeah, I've just been bombing Iran.
Chemical warfare in the
There
dressing
was.
room.
Yeah, Sudaina Sands been in the dressing room, would you?
So, Ruslan, great show. Great show. I'm really enjoying the show.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm singing on stage.
Were you? I wondered who it was.
You was not singing in key then, wasn't it? We wondered who it was, wasn't it? Eh?
He's out of tune.
How do you think audience tonight, Ruslan?
Audience were great.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was going mad.
I was enjoying it. It was fun.
I thought he was going to die. Running around so much.
How did you feel, Janick?
I feel I enjoyed it. It was great.
Standing in the back there and hiding in the shadow. Yeah.
Finally, see you April in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Look forward to seeing you.
Finally,
Cheers, mate.
Bruce, could you some message to Japanese fans?
Oh, hello, Japanese fans. We'll see you in April.
Cheers.
Definitely.
Cheers.
All right? We'll have a few